Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're all keeping well. Welcome back to my channel. And this is my review for the finale of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. And I don't know really how to discuss this episode, or and I use that term very lightly, episode, because this was crazy. This was absolutely crazy. I will say right now that it was entertaining. It certainly had me not laughing, but had me amused, and it's certainly one of those endings that left you scratching your head and wondering, so what the hell just happened. But look, it was basically, so much happened in this episode that I actually had to stop it at certain points just to take down notes for the review, because there's so much happening at once, and there was things that happened in the episode where I had to even go back to double check that it actually did happen. So I'm going to get into my review now because there's so much to talk about. So as always, there is going to be spoilers. So if you haven't watched the finale yet, just a heads up that I will be talking about spoilers from the episode, and I will get my thoughts on the series as a whole afterwards. So let's get into it. So basically, we get a recap of the series. It starts off as the normal She-Hulk intro, then it changes to the classic Incredible Hulk series with Bill Bixby, but with Jennifer in his place, and you have the narrator talking over and talking about her and how her life changed and everything, and she becomes the She-Hulk. So basically, Jennifer is being held in the prison cell that Abomination was in, and Nikki, Pug, and Book arrive, and she's, thinks they're coming to talk to her about how they can press charges against Intelligentsia, the online forum page who had hacked her information and who put the video out of her in the last episode. But they basically come to tell her that they've negotiated for her bail or release, but there are circumstances that she must abide by, and basically is that she is fired from her job at the law firm, and she, like Abomination, must be fitted with an inhibitor chip, so she can never turn into She-Hulk again. She's basically saying, that her private life was stolen and shown to the public without her consent. She reacted in anger, as anyone normally would, but they tell her, but you're not a normal person, you're a Hulk, and what the public seen was what they wanted them to see, which was a She-Hulk on the rampage and a danger to public safety. So she leaves her job, obviously, because she's been fired, and the press and the public are constantly hounding her at her apartment. So she leaves her apartment, sells her apartment, and moves back with her parents. And her dad is, anytime the news reporters are even trying to get close to the house, he's out, he's either spraying them with a hose, or he's like coming at them with a shovel, or saying, get off my property. So basically, like in, I think, what was it, the second episode, her parents are doing her head in, her mum's talking to her about, it's not the end of the world, yes, you lost this job, but I'm sure you'll find more. If not, you can help out with other things. And so your encounter with the guy Josh was put online. You can meet somebody else new. And she just doesn't want to hear, and just slams her head down the table. And basically then she sets up an sort of investigation board to look into the online forum and find out who is responsible. And she says that she wants to bring them to justice the legal way. Nikki tries to tell her, by any means necessary, you can Hulk out and thing, but no, she says, no, I want to do it the legal way, don't want to cause trouble, I've got this inhibitor chip. So Nikki basically tells her that so far the security around the forum is basically so tight that the only people that can really access it are people who post basically degrading or hurtful stuff about Jennifer, She-Hulk. So Jennifer's mum is showing her, baby photos of the family, and showing her thing of Jennifer when she was younger, and she happens to show her video of Jennifer drunk at college, dancing around and making a fool of herself. And Nikki basically gets an idea, so she asks her mother to send the video to her. And so Nikki basically posts that video anonymously to the forum, saying, this is She-Hulk embarrassing herself at college, and immediately gets a reply from Hulk King, who tells her, oh, great upload, everyone is getting together tonight for a meeting, you should come, here's the location. And she basically says, yep, no problem, I'll be there. But she doesn't want to go in herself because she doesn't know, basically she doesn't know who's running it or who is associated, so she asks for Pug to go with her. And at the same time, Jennifer's trying to contact Bruce, and he's constantly out of service and his mobile. Any time she tries to text him, it says message not delivered or not received. So basically he's AWOL, as she puts it. So she tries to contact Blonsky, and he's not answering her calls. So she basically decides, fine, I'll just go to his retreat anyway, because he said, anytime you're feeling down or anything, you can come stay here. So she heads off to there, and at the same time, Nikki and Pug arrive at this location, and Nikki basically sends Pug in undercover and tells him to have it, like, put an earphone in his ear, and she's going to talk his way through it. So he goes in, and he's not feeling up to it. He doesn't want to do it, but she tells him to man up and go through it. So he's basically walking around, and there's a group of guys who are all talking about She-Hulk and saying that she only got where she was because she's Bruce's cousin. She never deserved the powers, and somebody says, it's like this other female Lady Thor. Where did she come from? How is she suddenly a She-Thor? What has she done to deserve these powers? So basically, Nikki talks to him, the Pug, through the earpiece, and gets him to start saying, yeah, the hell with these women, She-Hulk, doesn't deserve the break she got. She only got a new job in a law firm because of her powers, and you hear somebody agreeing with him from behind, and it's basically Todd, the creepy guy from the dating app, who was referring to She-Hulk as a specimen, and always question about her powers and how she got them, and who showed up at the law firm thing. So he's immediately as congratulating Pug for attending, saying, I always knew that you were going to be one of us. You were surpassed in your place of work for She-Hulk, who did nothing. And he says, like, I bet she even got the job because she slept with the boss. And Nikki says, yeah, tell him yes. So he says, yeah, and it makes me so damn angry. So Pug asks Todd, how did you get involved with this whole group? And then it's revealed that Todd is the creator. He is Hulk King. He set it all up. This is all because of him. So that was a bit of a letdown. I was hoping that it was going to be the leader or something else, but it was basically this guy Todd, who basically hates She-Hulk and wants her powers and her blood for his own. So yeah, that was a bit of a letdown. But so at the same time, Jennifer gets to Blonsky's place, and she's met by the wrecking crew guy who had previously attacked her, and he tells her, come on, we'll get you settled in, gives her a hug, he said, I'm sorry for what you've been through. And at the same time, Todd gets everyone at the meeting, sitting down. He's up on stage, basically doing the whole sort of host thing of, saying, Devon, you all know why you're here. We know what we want from life. We're not gonna let anyone stand in our way of what we want or what our dreams are. And he basically introduces the guest speaker for tonight is Abomination. So you basically find out then that the meeting place is Blonsky's retreat, and Blonsky enters the room in Abomination form. So he's talking to everyone, and at the same time, Jennifer's asking the wrecking crew guy, where is Blonsky? I've been looking for him, and she says, he tells her, I think he's down in the hall. He's got some type of event going on. So she walks down and enters the room, and Blonsky in the Abomination form, he's giving everyone the speech, and trying to, at the same time talking in his what he sort of learned, saying, I'm so glad that you've all reached a place where you're comfortable with your life. And she basically goes in on him, and Nikki comes into the hall and tells Jennifer that Todd is hulking, and this is where the episode takes an absolute left turn and goes off the rails. So, so Todd basically tells Jennifer that the whole plot was for him to obtain her blood. They tried previously with the wrecking crew. It did not succeed. He then hired I think he said he hired an actor, or he hired someone to play the part of Josh to seduce her, sleep with her, and obtain her blood. So he injects himself with She-Hulk's blood, and at the same time Jennifer is breaking the fourth wall and saying, is this where the episode's going? Is this the whole plot of what the series has come to a climax on this? So he turns into a type of Hulk. His arms are big. He still has the same sort of body size, but his arms are are built out like muscles, like sort of Popeye type of arms, and his body turns green and all. And at the same time, Titania smashes through the wall, and Jennifer doesn't understand why she's here, and basically Todd tells everyone in the hall to attack Jennifer, and Abomination grabs Jennifer to safety because basically he still cares for her because she got him out of jail, and he starts batting away at anyone that tries to get at her, and the next thing you know, Bruce crashes through the ceiling. He crashed through the ceiling, sees Abomination holding Jennifer, and he starts fighting Abomination, and Titania's cheering them on. Todd's like going on a rampage, and Jennifer basically just calls a timeout, and basically goes, what the fuck is happening here? Where these plot lines don't make any sense. Who came up with this? What is are you at home? Are you happy with this? Next thing you know, the screen cuts to the Disney Plus menu. So I thought that something had happened with the app. It's basically just sitting there for a moment on the menu screen of Disney Plus, but then Jennifer's still talking and saying, oh no, you can't cover this up by cutting to a new screen. So next thing, she smashes through the picture of She-Hulk, and she's looking around the whole menu screen. There's all different Marvel movies. There's Black Panther, there's Iron Man, and she's going through each one like, no, definitely not. And then she sees Marvel assemble and says, yep, that'll do. And she jumps down and smashes through that screen. So next thing you know, we're behind the scenes of Marvel Studios, and Jennifer in She-Hulk form is walking around the studio. All the sort of cast and stage crew are like trying to back away in shock. She's walking around the halls and comes to the door that says She-Hulk production. So she walks in, and all the director and the writing team are all there chatting, laughing away, and she basically goes in on them, asking, what the hell is going on here? Who is coming up with these stories? Who designed this plot? She talks to the main writer and saying, why is it that every superhero story has to be the same, that the bad guy wants to steal the hero's powers so he can have the same powers? Why can't you be original? And so basically, they're saying, well, we thought that this, could be the same. We thought that maybe we could try to, build on the success of other things. So she basically says, right, I want to talk to Kevin, because they say that this is what Kevin Feige wants. So she says, I want to talk to Kevin. I want to talk to him right now. And they all start basically laughing and saying, nobody talks to Kevin. Okay, Kevin is, like a god. Nobody's ever seen Kevin. One of the guys says, I would kill for Kevin. I would kill you for Kevin. And she says, okay, right, you guys sit here. I'm going to talk to Kevin. So the next scene, we find her in Marvel Studios. She's walking down the halls. They're all different, either models of Iron Man or sort of posters and pictures of different scenes from the movies. And she gets to basically a security guy and says, I'm here to see Kevin. So he gets on the phone and says, look, can you read these terms and conditions and sign your name? So she's flicking through the screen at all the different terms, conditions. In the meantime, the guy's on the phone saying, "Yeah, I've got a Jennifer She-Hulk Walters to see Kevin Feige." So she signs her name, and the next minute the guy hits the alarm bell. She says, "Why did you have me go through all this terms and conditions if you were just going to do it?" And he says, "Well, everybody has to sign the terms and conditions." So she basically goes through the security. They all try to jump her. She just slams one on the ground, and one's on her back. She immediately throws him against the wall, and next then she enters a room that would it would remind you of, if you've ever seen it, the Matrix Reloaded, where Neo meets the Architect. It's all different screens, and it's all different Marvel movies and TV series playing, all different things. She's looking around, and next minute this big mechanical robot with a cap approaches her, and it says Kevin written on the front. And he says, "How can I help you, Jennifer?" And she says, "I'm here to see Kevin Feige." And he says, "Yep, I'm Kevin." And he basically says that, I've wrote down here, Kevin stands for Knowledge Enhanced Visual Interconnectivity Nexus. She says, "You're kidding," And he's like, what? Did you think I was some type of human? So it's basically like a TVA type of thing, and he basically, she's saying, what the hell is going on? And he immediately says to her, "Look, I will answer the questions you have, but can you please change into human Jennifer, because it costs too much to have you in She-Hulk form." He basically says that the visual effects team have moved on to a new project. So he says, "Can you wait until the screen's looking at me so you can change off screen?" So, he's like, "Okay, wait. Okay, the camera's on me. You can change now." So basically changes back, and then she tries to talk to him about the series, and he says, "We tried to do some new ideas and everything." She goes into about the episode, saying, the fans aren't going to be happy with all these plots that mean nothing, that have no connectivity behind them, come together at once. It's like some type of super soldier serum climax that every Marvel movie ending seems to have. So he basically says, right, okay, maybe we have made mistakes. What would you like to see for the finale? So she basically says to him, okay, can we get rid of Todd, because his plotline makes zero sense. He's the bad guy, not not some plotline where he's trying to steal my blood to be a super Hulk villain. So they erase him, and she says, I'll deal with him legally as a bad guy, because it's meant to be a legal type of series. And she says, next, Bruce, he just shows up out of the sky. for the finale, and the Kevin, says, "Oh, but he's here to explain where he's been," and she's like, "No, just save it for the movie." So they erase him. She says, she asks you, what's Titania here for? And you say, well, it's just because she's been involved. We want her to have some type of involvement in the finale. She says, all right, we'll figure something to do with her. And says, what about Daredevil? A girl has needs. I only seen him for a few scenes past in the last episode. And Kevin says, we can agree that we misused Daredevil in the series, so we'll try something with him. So basically then she says, well, hold on, there's other questions I have about this series, and what is my story meant to be, and there's some ideas I have for season 2. And basically she says, what about, where's the X-Men? Why haven't we heard anything about them? The Kevin boss says, I cannot divulge any information on that subject. So that was a nice little thing. And I have another thing written down here. She brings up daddy issues. Says, why does every character seem to have daddy issues? Tony Stark, daddy issues. Thor, daddy issues. Loki, daddy issues. Star-Lord, 2 daddies, a lot of issues. And at this point, the Kevin bot is starting to malfunction. So, he says, okay, look, we have to end this talk. You have to leave. There's new security protocol in place, so you'll never be able to come back here and talk to me again. So she gets up to leave, and the Kevin bot says, hey, I'll see you on the big screen. And she gets really surprised. She's like, really? He's like, no, not really. So it's basically to say that She-Hulk won't be in a big Marvel movie. So basically they then return to the episode, and Todd's being arrested for not stealing her blood or any of that, but basically for leaking her private videos to the public, and the creating the online forum. I think she says like a defamation case or something like that. She says, I'll see you in court. Titania's in the background basically videoing it for all her followers. Blonsky is also being arrested because he broke the rules of his probation, because he turned into the Abomination. So he has been resentenced to 10 years in jail. Or has he? Well, I'll get to that in a minute. And then Daredevil just shows up. He just shows up and he's like, hey Jen, I'm here to save the day. And she's like, damn, you missed it all. And he's like, really? Like, I wanted to be a part of something. So she said, I'll tell you what, why don't you come to my family's for dinner? We can have a long chat. So the next scene then is they're all sitting around the table outside at Jennifer's parents' house, having a barbecue. They're all chatting. They're all asking Matt Murdock questions, saying, so you work in Hell's Kitchen, and how much money do you actually make from this job? What's it like living in Hell's Kitchen? Hell's Kitchen doesn't sound like a very safe place. And the dad's like, how are you with kids? Like when, do you think you'll want to have kids? And he's basically saying, I didn't think I was going to be getting these type of questions. And the dad says, every question is going to be like that from now on. So Jennifer's basically saying, yep, this is how it is with my family. And next thing, Bruce shows up again. And he's, saying, hey guys, I know I've been away on, where was he said he was? On Sakaar. I've been away there. I've got so much to tell you, but first I've got somebody I need to introduce you to. And next minute he moves to the side, and there's this other Hulk standing there, and he basically says, "This is my son, Scar." What the hell? Like I've said, this is what I said. This episode was just, left you thinking, what in the hell? I wasn't too fussed on the CGI for that. It was basically, if it even was CGI, it was just a guy standing there next to Hulk, and he had sort of a bald head here, but then long hair at the back. So he was basically standing there, and everyone's saying, "Oh, congratulations!" And Jennifer's looking at the cameras. I was like, "What?" So then basically the next scene is Jennifer going to court for her case against Todd. And the reporter who was always trying to ask her questions in previous episodes, he says, are you how are you going to continue battling crime? Will it be in the courts, or will it be as a superhero? And she basically stops the around and says both. So that's the episode ends. But then one of the credits says, because it listed all the cast and the special appearances, Mark Ruffalo and Tim Roth and everything, but then it says special appearance from Wong. And I was like, where was that? Goes Wong? We didn't see Wong. So basically we get one final post-credit scene with Blonsky's back in his cell, and next minute Wong shows up, and he apologizes for being late, and Blonsky says, "You got roped into doing another TV series, didn't you?" And he's like, "Hey, it's the prime time now, he's like, "Have you got your things? Are you ready to go?" And Blonsky grabs all his belongings and says, "So tell me about this Carmitage. Has it got Wi-Fi? Has everyone got their own room and all?" So basically, Wong is taking Blonsky out of prison to sanctuary at the Carmitage. So that's basically where the series ends. So, yeah. like I said, what the hell was that episode? I mean, talk about like breaking the fourth wall. This was like breaking the fourth wall more than Deadpool. You know, the fact that you had like She-Hulk going to actual Marvel Studios, confronting the writing team for She-Hulk series, and then going into Marvel Studios to talk to Kevin. There was some jokes, different jokes, you know, about, you know, her not making it to the big screen, and, you know, can't reveal any information on X-Men, and they admit that they have been misused Daredevil. It's just crazy. Like I said, you know, for an episode at Catman Muse, you know, the whole, like I said, that whole breaking the fourth wall was just crazy, absolutely crazy. And basically that's She-Hulk. You know, overall, it's been an alright series. You know, I can't, you know, just have to be honest, you know, I can't say that I hated it. I can't say there's any episodes where I watched them and I thought this is just stupid. You know, there was, as I said previously, you know, there was one or two episodes that just felt like filler, you know, like the wedding episode, and it just felt like you could have more advancement on the plot, although at the end they basically just threw that plot in the bin, so the whole series plot was just scrapped. So I don't know where we go from here. I mean, is She-Hulk's blood still out there, or has that just completely been scrapped? And if there is going to be a season 2, are they going to completely just start over again, or it just there's not really much more I could say. I mean, overall, I enjoyed the series. You know, I like, you know, that we've had the introduction of She-Hulk. We now have the introduction of Hulk's son. So hopefully that will be explained in whatever they're working on with Bruce. I'm assuming that would be World War Hulk or Planet Hulk, or is it going to be maybe in another series or something like that? And you know, we've had the introduction of Daredevil officially to the MCU, so it could be maybe that She-Hulk will maybe show up in his is it, I can't remember, as a movie or a series. I can't remember as a thing, but you know, now that sort of they've sort of connected, you know, maybe she will cross over to him, or it's if there's one sort of negative I would put is that it didn't. I was, as I said in previous reviews, I was hoping and thinking that it was going to be leading up to the reveal that the person trying to get her blood was the leader, and that could have led into the Captain America movie where he's meant to be the villain. So that would be a negative I would pick up, is that plot just sort of didn't go anywhere. If they had said, all right, well, instead of using Todd as the villain, how about we introduce the leader instead and use him as the villain for the finale. But other than that, I don't have any real complaints. So we'll just have to see where it goes from here, and that's pretty much it. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this episode. It's just, as I said, it was just one of those ones where you had to keep stopping it and come back and saying, "Oh, did that actually happen?" Or but that part where the scene cut to the Disney Plus menu, I was thinking, there's something wrong with the app. Did I hit something? But then she started talking, and I was like, what the hell are they doing here? So it is all things like that I enjoyed, where they do sort of the same as Deadpool type of thing, where they break the fourth wall. So I enjoyed that, but that's pretty much my review for that. There's not really much more I could say. I think my voice is starting to go from talking about all the different things, but let me know yourself, if you watched this episode and you've watched the series, what do you think of it overall? What do you think of this episode? Were you happy with see, it's difficult to say how the plot went, because they basically just scrapped the plot at the end and thing. But overall, are you happy that we got the introduction of the character She-Hulk, we got the introduction of Daredevil, and we basically had the return of Blonsky and Abomination, who will be, I think it will be in the Thunderbolts movie. We got introduction to other characters the Mambo, Mr. Immortal, Porcupine. So will they feature? Will Leapfrog return? And it'll be interesting to see if they actually do a season 2. Or if this is just a one-off. They might look at it and think, I know that the series obviously hasn't been everyone's sort of cup of tea. The spot that it's been sort of crap. I just have to be honest and say that, when the way I look at a series is that if I'm still watching it right till the end, then I've enjoyed it. If I watched 1 or 2 episodes and thought, the hell with this, then I haven't enjoyed it. So each episode is kept me entertained to a fact that I'll say, alright, I can't wait to see the next one. So let me know yourself what you thought overall, and like the video and subscribe to the channel, be very much appreciated, and we'll see where we go from here. That little sort of tease at the end with Blonsky saying to Wong, that he's been roped into another series. Will he show up in something else? So we'll have to wait and see with that. Maybe we'll get a Madison spin-off with Wong. And it's like they sit and watch series and everything. But anyway, take care and I'll see you again.